Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here today for our annual Black History Month celebration. I want to just quickly introduce the newest member of our police department, Aksa, who is... Oh, we changed it to Roxy now. That's a better name. And Officer Juan Bonilla here, he's in charge of the dog. You want to just quickly, I think this is cool, say a little bit about the training you got and how you arranged to get this whole thing. I think is wonderful, if you don't mind.
Well, so far, Monday actually we start the training. We're going to be going up to different places around New Jersey. So depending on whatever students are in there, we go different sites. So we got to find some sites we can train here in Woodbridge too, so we can do that.
Okay.
But as of right now, very green.
Fresh on me, aren't you?
A little bit.
Right.
So, but very green still. No actual training yet. Just a couple things she's learned at Greenleaf Pet Resort in Millstone, if you guys need a dog or a boarding place. Not that I work there. I don't work there. I'm not allowed to. But yeah, that's it really.
Are you a dog guy by nature?
Yeah.
Growing up?
Yeah, I've grown up. I've owned dogs and everything like that. So I figured this would be a good way to kind of wind out the rest of my career.
Well, you haven't had one in a long time, because this is the first time probably in 15 or more years, I would think.
What, for a police department?
Police dog, no, the party's been around for a long time.
No, I know. No, the police dog that we had was, I couldn't even tell you, a few years.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Cool.
So hopefully we get this up and running, we get some more dogs in there.
Yeah, this is really cool. All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to start by presenting the Mayor's Award for Excellence in Community Service, and I'd like to call up Officer Thomas Hendricks. I'll just read the proclamation, which I think I did a week or two ago at the Acacia Center, but this is more focused on Black History Month. Whereas the United States Congress has designated February as National Black History Month to recognize the contributions and accomplishments the black community has made to our nation, and whereas the Association for the Study of African American Life and History designates a yearly theme for Black History Month, and the 2026 theme is a Century of Black History Commemorations, a theme that honors 100 years of collective efforts to preserve, elevate, and advance the understanding and appreciation of black history. And whereas the Office of Mayor and the Municipal Council for the Township of Woodbridge are proud to honor and recognize trailblazing individuals whose service and leadership strengthen the community and exemplify excellence in public service. And whereas Woodbridge Police Officer Thomas Hendricks made history as the first black police officer in Woodbridge Township to receive the Police Officer of the Year honor, a milestone achievement that underscores his outstanding service, leadership, and dedication to public safety through proactive policing, life-saving actions, and exemplary teamwork. And whereas Officer Thomas Hendricks is proudly recognized as Woodbridge Township's 2026 Black History Month honoree, as his historic achievement and commitment to excellence embodies the 2026 theme, A Century of Black History Commemorations, by reflecting the progress achieved through generations of perseverance, public service, and leadership, while continuing to advance representation and opportunity within the Woodbridge Police Department and the community he serves. And now therefore I, John McCormick, Mayor of the Township of Woodbridge, in concert with the Woodbridge Township Council, do hereby honor and salute Woodbridge Police Officer Thomas Hendricks for his dedication to mission and purpose, and further recognize him as the 2026 Black History Month honoree for his exemplary leadership in Woodbridge Township, and extend best wishes and safe passage in all future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could have heard this young man speak a couple of weeks ago after the honor was bestowed upon him as Officer of the Year, and the tribute he made to his former co-worker, Officer Michael Tenpenny, if you didn't have goosebumps and a little tear in your eye, then you're just not human. He did a phenomenal job. He had a phenomenal year as a police officer, and he's very, very much deserving of this honor.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to the mayor, town council, and the police administration, and obviously my fellow coworkers in the back. This award, once again, just doesn't belong to me. It belongs to everybody in Woodbridge Police Department. Without everybody here, I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at. All right? When it comes to the countless hours The nights where, you don't get sleep because you're out here working a job. These guys in the back and all the guys in the department are always there for me. So I want to thank the Evenside Squad, Squad 8, Squad 10, and Squad 12, because those are the guys that were here with me. So without them, I couldn't do it. So thank you, guys.
Now I'd like to ask Police Director Joe Niski if you'd like to say a few words.
Okay, thank you, Mayor McCormick and the Municipal Council. Happy Black History Month. Officer Hendricks, we're proud to have you protecting and serving Woodbridge Township. You have a unique opportunity to bridge community gaps and to uphold a legacy of service in the Woodbridge Police Department. Congratulations on an honor well deserved.
I'd like to introduce our town council. To Joe's right is First Ward Councilwoman covering Woodbridge proper and Seawarren, and current council president Sharon McAuliffe. To her right is Vero Patel, Fourth Ward Councilman covering Island and Menlo Park Terrace. To his right is Council Vice President and Councilwoman at Large Lisbeth De Jesus. To her right is Second Ward Councilman Howie Barra covering Ford's, Hope Lawn, and Caseby. To his right, covering the Fifth Ward of Colonia, is Councilwoman Debbie Meehan. To her right is Kyle Anderson, Councilman at Large. To his right, Corey Spiller, Third Ward, covering Avenel and Port Reading. To his right, former Woodbridge police officer and current Councilman at Large, Brian Small. To his right, Councilman at Large, Dan Harris. To his right, 19th District Assemblyman and current Assembly Speaker for the 5th time, a state record, Craig Coughlin. Let's hear for all our public servants. I'll get to that last guy in a minute. We also have in the audience from our Board of Education, Stefan Lally. And we have from our Human Rights Commission, the sponsor of tonight's event, we have Denise Anderson. And we have Bobby Farrell. The best athlete from Colonia High School football and baseball teams in the 70s when him and Glenn Morgan played together. I'd now like to introduce the president of our Human Rights Commission. So way back, I said this story at the Martin Luther King ceremony, but in 2020, it was a very difficult time in the country after all the demonstrations and disruptions after George Floyd. It was a tough time to be a public leader. We were looking for an avenue to deal with this situation. We discovered that we had a Human Rights Commission way back in the 70s that had fallen out of vogue. It was no longer active. We reached out to Glenn Morgan as somebody we thought could be helpful to us as a community leader, and didn't even really know at the time, but the last president of that Human Rights Commission, the last leader, was his mother back in the 70s. And then we put that all together and said, this guy's perfect. He came in, he's been a very much a help to us in dealing with different issues. He's really revitalized this commission. They meet regularly, they bring in guests, they talk about things, they meet with us all the time. I want to thank him for that and ask him now if he'd say a few words about Black History Month.
That's all right. That's all right. It's a pleasure to be here, just to see the diversity in this township and what we're doing to move forward to be inclusive of everybody. That's what it's all about. That's what the Human Rights Commission is about. And to have this gentleman here to add to what we're having here in our township only makes it better. So I commend you. I'll probably be utilizing some of your services as well, along with Manzini and a lot of the officers here. We just want to do anything we can, because right now, what's going on in our country, we need to make sure that doesn't take place here, okay? So the opportunity for us to just stick together, do what we need to do to collaborate, that's what we have to do as a unit, together. That's what my mother was about back then in the 70s, because there was a point in time we're in, diversity. There wasn't a whole lot of that going on right here. And there's a lot of change that has taken place. a large part of that because of the mayor and his determination when he first came in here to say, we got to change the way we look as a township. And that's what he has done. And you can see that here through what we have here in the council, what we have here at the Board of Ed, okay? And then even what I have here at the Human Rights Commission with my board that I have here, the diversity that we have here. So we're just going to continue this process, kick some butt, and move forward, okay?
I want to introduce somebody who's been around a long time in Woodbridge Township, the very fabric of Woodbridge High School for decades, the very first black principal in the history of Woodbridge Township, Mr. Lee Warren. Now I'd like to ask Councilman Kyle Anderson, who way back in 2011 became the first black to be on the Township Council when he replaced Councilwoman Patricia Osborne, who ironically was his teacher at John F. Kennedy High School. And as Glenn said, we knew the town council had to get more diverse to look like the Township of Woodbridge, which is incredibly diverse. Kyle is the first black council person, as I said. Lizbeth De Jesus is the first Hispanic councilwoman. Vera Patel is the first Asian Indian councilman. The Board of Ed is diverse with all three nationalities, cultures covered. Same with our different commissions and boards, you name it, we are diverse. That's, Kyle was the pioneer in that, so I'd like Kyle to please say a few words.
First of all, thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. I like what Police Director Joe Niski, how he referred to Thomas as being a bridge. And when you're trying to make change, it's not just change by appearance. It's not just who's in the room and looks like everyone. It's who has a voice, who's going to help you understand the differences in all of the cultures and doing it at a table where we can do it civilly. Thomas was from my neighborhood. However, I had the distinct honor of knowing the first African-American police officer in Woodbridge Township history, and I actually lived on the same street with the second African-American police officer in the history of Woodbridge. That was Lawrence Jefferson and Alvin Williams. We hear a lot about Alvin Williams and my good friend Mark Zeno, who happened to be in 1999, right? 1999, you came on? 2001? Was after Alvin P. Williams, one of the first African Americans that we had. So we did have a long gap from 1979 to 2001, where we brought on 4 African American police officers. But it's not about just changing the faces. It's about bringing people on and their lived experience. Their lived experience helps everyone else become knowledgeable. So when I think of Black History Month, this is a quote that I did write, but I kind of remember. But when I think of Black history, I think of looking peering into the starlit sky. The stars once served as a compass for our ancestors. That's how they traveled, by star. They then passed on and became those stars. And they are the guide to our journey, and they are the picture to our story. So when we think of Black History Month, it's something that we have to revisit. Every year we need to revisit. And you hear it all the time, Black history is American history. When we truly adopt that, and we adopt everyone else's contributions to this country, and not pigeonhole it to a month, then we've really arrived as a country. All right. I want to thank all of you for being here. Thomas, congratulations. Like I said, he'd come around. He was a Boy Scout in our neighborhood. He would come around, sell popcorn, knock on my door. Very shy, but he was a good young man. I saw it back then. He grew up with my daughter. But the connection, when you talk about the bridge, the fact that I grew up and I used to play in front of Mr. Jefferson's house, and I grew up with Mr. Williams' son, and another history, Mr. Warren was my kid's principal at Woodbridge High School, but that bridge where we all can make those connections. Woodbridge, the mayor says, is the best town around. It's a big town, but we can still make those connections based on your last name, what neighborhood you grew up in, who you played with, what little league you played in. That's what makes Woodbridge great. And it's not just because we bring people in. We bring people in that make a difference. And people that come and they're part of our team, They're going to make Woodbridge what Woodbridge is, and that is truly, as the mayor has said, the best town around. Thank you very much.
I'm going to wrap it up by saying thank you to all the Woodbridge police officers who are here. They're here for you, Officer Hendricks. That's a testament to your friendship with them. You're a great group. This is the best police department in the state of New Jersey. I say it over and over again. It's true. They're nationally ranked. I've said it so many times, everybody's tired of hearing me say it, but maybe not, because you're all cops. You want to be told you're the best. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bundle up, go to the door, and run out to the flagpole. And Kyle and Glenn and Thomas are going to raise the flag and then run back inside. So let's get bundled up and go.
See ya.
To the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a moment of silence, please.
notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger published a notice. It should be noted in the minutes of the meeting and is also posted on the municipal bulletin board. Councilman Bauer. Here. Councilwoman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilman Harris. Councilwoman McAuliffe. Sorry,
Here.
it's out of order. Councilwoman Meehan.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilman Spiller.
Here.
And Councilman Anderson. Madam President, as you know, this is a meeting which has been continued several times for the adoption of the fiscal year 26 budget. At this time, before we look to adopt, I got to entertain a motion to open the public comment portion of this meeting on any matter they may
Motion?
have.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The public hearing is now open on any comment the public may have. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion?
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Before you is a resolution for the adoption of the budget. I'm required to read you the amendments that have been made, so bear with me for a moment, please. You'll notice this resolution upon adoption will adopt said budget with the following changes. Under surplus anticipated with prior written consent of the Director of Local Government Services, that will go from $1,765,837.74 to $1,720,837.74, for a total surplus anticipated going from $13,093,578.74 to $13,048,578.74. Under number 3, miscellaneous revenues, these are all grants that are being inserted into the budget. Again, under general revenue, we have the sober living for residents of Middlesex County for $130,000. Drunk driving enforcement fund, $26,556.95. The HTS Federal Highway Safety Grant for $105,000. Middlesex County Open Space Recreation and Farmland and Historic Preservation Trust Fund Grant, $1,168,000. Middlesex County, the following: Disabled Services, Assistive Technology Services for $30,000, Case Management Services for $36,000, and Education Services for $6,000. To total that section will go from $1,593,651.66 to $3,095,208.61, for total miscellaneous revenues from $86,669,506.30 to $88,171,063.25. Under the amount to be raised by taxation, letter A, local tax for municipal purposes, including reserve for uncollected taxes, from $106,510,900 to $106,555,900. Total amount to be raised by taxes for support of municipal budget, from $112,151,560 to $112,196,560 for total general revenues going from $218,101,870.04 to $219,603,426.99. Then under general appropriation, the same items I read to you for the insertion for the grants also will be listed now as appropriations. So again, instead of repeating them, that total then for public and private revenues offset by revenue go from $1,598,651.66 to $3,100,208.61. Total operations excluded from caps from $22,928,677.30 to $24,430,234.25. Detail under other expenses from $15,868,931.30 to $17,370,488.25. Total general appropriations excluded from caps from $45,465,686.04 to $46,967,242.99. And finally, then for your total general appropriations will go from, with these amendments, $218,101,870.04 to $219,603,426.99. Are there any questions on the resolution? If there are no questions, can I get a motion to approve resolution listed as number 1?
Motion?
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Madam President, that is all I have for this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Mitch. I'd just like to take a moment from myself and my fellow councilmates to thank the administration and all the teams who worked tirelessly to make this budget so successful. Thank you.
Does the mayor have any comments?
Does the mayor have any comments?
Yes, we have our accounting staff here, so I wanted to mention them. Manu Fernandez, the Chief Financial Officer, Mike Klepchik, the Deputy Chief Financial Officer, and Katie Mullen, the Chief Accountant. They're primarily responsible for the nuts and bolts of the budget. Did a phenomenal job. Every year the budget gets tougher and tougher. I also want to thank Vito Simaluka as the administrator. Business administrator has responsibility for the budget along with Casey Wagner, the deputy administrator. That group of 5 started working on the budget last March, and next month we'll literally start on next year's budget. So it's a round-the-clock process, especially when we had to wait for a bunch of things through the state to get final approval. It's a really tough process to go through, and it's a lot of work. And like I said, every year the budget gets bigger and tougher, but they did a terrific job, and I want to thank them publicly for the job that they did. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Otherwise, I entertain for adjournment.
Can I entertain for an adjournment at this time?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please take a moment of silence for all of our military taking care of us here and overseas. Thank you.
Notice requirement for the open public meeting law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger published a notice. It was posted on the municipal bulletin board and should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Anderson. Councilman Bauer.
Here.
Councilman Harris.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilman Spiller.
Here.
Vice President De Jesus.
Here.
And President McCullough.
Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from January 20th, 2026?
Motion?
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances this evening, we're going to take letters A and B by consent. Both are amendments to Chapter 7, which is the traffic section of our TO book. First is to delete handicap parking on a section of Diaz Street in Island, and the second is to add handicap parking on Lee Avenue. With that said, can I get a motion that these 2 ordinances be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion?
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letters A and B only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinances be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion?
Second?
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter C is an ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge to acquire real estate designated as Block 139.10, Lot 16.02, also known as Ford Avenue School 14, for the purpose of creating and preserving recreational space. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion?
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter C only.
Good evening, Tom Maris, Forest, New Jersey. And before I start, I just want to congratulate everybody. I haven't been here in a couple of months, but certainly all the council members on the reelection, appointments, to our new council president. I know the elections it's a blood sport, but anyway, you got good people, and I know you will have the best interest of our town at heart. That said, let me go on to ordinance number C. Has there been an appraisal of that property? If so, by whom? And what is the valuation of it? What is the cost of the township? And actually, how will it be developed? You're saying open space, but it's just going to be open, empty land, or we're going to do something with it?
Mayor?
So yes, there were appraisals done, actually twice, because the parameters changed slightly. We are trading and giving to the school district 4.7 acres of Clyde Avenue Park on Clyde Avenue and Hope Lawn. We are getting back 1.8 acres of School 14 and Fords, the entire lot, and we're getting back about 12 acres of land north and south of School 22 in Colonia, Lindcrest School. All that, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but all the property was appraised. We had to have proof to the DEP that we were giving up more than twice of the value of what we were getting, and we had to actually, no, let me get that straight, hold it. We were trading, the amount of money we're trading, we have to get back twice the amount of acres and twice the amount of value in what we're getting from the school. So again, I don't know the numbers, but it is very well in excess of double what we're getting to keep open versus what we're giving for the school. And what we're getting will be officially green acres. We would have waited for everything to be done with the transfer of the property, which is very complicated, but in the meantime, we're applying for a grant for a handicapped accessible playground on the School 14 site. That grant deadline up with the application is the 13th of February. We had to indicate that we have control and ownership of that property. So that's why we're breaking off the School 14 piece, and we're literally buying it from the school for $1, and we can have it, and we can apply for the grant, hopefully get the grant and build that playground, and the rest of the transaction will be consummated in the next probably 60 days.
Well, thank you. And all the aforementioned properties all have been appraised by someone.
They've all been appraised
So
by
it's a matter of public
two
record.
appraisers. Two appraisers for both of them twice.
Did the township, Woodbridge Township proper, pay for that, or did the school board pay for some of those appraisals?
I believe we paid. Yeah, I believe we paid for the appraisals.
Okay. But they're all available through an open.
Oh, yeah, you can have them all, yep.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other comments under letter C?
John Latari Woodbridge, understand, let us see. When you said over here, preserve and recreational space, what do you mean preserve? Preserve, if it's a public, that means in the future it could never change for anything else?
Once it's Green Acres, it stays Green Acres forever, unless in some point in the future, somebody wants to make a future trade, but then it's 4-to-1 normally, but because we're building a school, it only had to be 2-to-1. So the chances of anybody finding 50 acres to trade for the 13 or so that we're getting, very slim.
And then, of course, playgrounds or something like that would have to maintain by the public, by the township, of course, and the...
Yes, we're happy to maintain a handicapped accessible playground, very happy to do that.
Question, but some people that I was talking to, they're kind of scared at what time those playgrounds are going to be open, because this is definitely a residential area.
People who call you would ask you questions like that, you should tell them to call us. The playground's going to be open like all playgrounds in the town, dawn to dusk.
but I mean, it's going to be open like 8 o'clock in the evening, or go open at 10 o'clock if,
Dawn to dusk.
thank you.
Any other comments on letter C?
Council President, I just want to, I know the gentlemen weren't here last meeting, but at our last council meeting, we, for lack of a better term, we had a meeting within the meeting where we had all the planners and engineers present this project along with all the diagrams of what's going to be a phenomenal handicapped accessible playground on that spot. Gave a chance for the residents to see everything on the plans, but it looks fantastic. So I just wanted to remind everybody of that. Thank you.
Here are no other comments. Can I get the motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll take letters D, E, F, G, H, and I as first reading ordinances. Can I get a motion that the ordinance to be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on Friday, February 6, 2026, with notice of public hearing be held on February 17, 2026 at 6 p.m.?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And then finally, Madam President, you have resolutions 1 through 23 before you. Can I get a motion by consent to approve 1 through 23?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Yes, Mr. Mitch, I'd like to abstain from number 23, please.
So moved. Any other comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. That's all I have.
Okay, at this point, we're going to go into the public session. When going to the public session comment portion of the meeting, when approaching the microphone, please state your name and what section of the township you live in, and you will have a one-time opportunity to speak. All members of the audience shall adhere to the township's decorum ordinance, which is posted at the entrance doors of council chambers. The public session allows for 5 minutes. This includes remarks by the speaker and any response by the council president or administration. When there is 1 minute left, I will alert the speakers so to emphasize any remaining points or questions they may have. When the 5-minute period has passed, all speakers are to leave the microphone area and return to their chairs. All videotaping must be taken from the designated area, and there will be no interruptions from your chair. Please make sure there are no signs or posters in the aisle or walkways or exit access. The public session portion is a meeting in the comment and or question interaction between the president and the speaker. The council president presides over the meeting. Thank you.
Are there any comments from the public this evening?
Good evening again, Tom Maris, Forge, New Jersey. Nice to be back, although some may not agree with that. A couple of questions I have. Well, let me start with an opening remark. I was here early enough to catch the opening ceremonies for the celebration of Black History Month. I think it was wonderful. It was well attended. Kudos to that young black officer that's serving this community and bridging the gap. And again, we are a very diverse township, and we've got a lot to be proud of. And I remember a lot of people being here trying to degrade our police department and this township over a lot of things. Black Lives Matter. We held fast, did the right things, and kudos to everybody for making sure this town stays as it is, a welcoming community. That said, I've got some things that I talked about several months back. As the mayor may recall, the council may recall, there was a settlement agreement between essentially Mucci Industries on the Colonial Investment properties over on St. George Avenue. At that time, it was $3,525,000. When I asked the mayor how that was paid, he said it cost the township nothing. I'd like him to reaffirm that it cost the township nothing, and yet how was that settlement paid and by whom? Further to that, I subsequently put Oprah request in, and I found out the township paid approximately $90,000. I'm not going to get into the weeds on it, to a law firm to represent Woodbridge Township through the Planning Development Agency, and they settled for around $90,000. Again, there was trails that showed that money was paid. But if the mayor contention holds that there was no payments made, who paid the $90,000? Who paid the $3,525,000?
Council President, The question was, that I answered was, did we pay for the property? We did not pay for the property. We still haven't paid for the property. The current owner of the property paid for it in the condemnation proceeding. We did, of course, pay our attorneys to protect our interest in the entire transaction. That was not the question that was asked back then. It's asked now, and I'm answering it now. We did pay legal fees. We wanted to make sure we're covered. So we paid the firm to handle that whole transaction to make sure the township was properly represented.
I was just going by the settlement agreement which you published, which was a matter of record, and this is a settlement agreement.
No, we know.
So
We never
that's where
said
I
we
got
didn't pay
that
legal
information.
fees.
I'm not going to debate it with you, John. I'm glad taxpayers didn't pay for it, and it's been developed, and it's a hell of a lot better now than it was before.
Yes, it is.
So kudos on that. I'd like to take a moment also to compliment our workers in the township through the past weekends when we've had all this snow. It's tough. It's hard to get through certain parts of this town. Everybody's going to complain sooner. Well, I shouldn't say everybody. There are people that will always complain. But given the circumstances, I think they did an excellent job. Kudos out, because anybody goes out and does that kind of work in those conditions knows how hard it is. And we should be appreciative of the fact that we have a township that can handle it the way that they did. Is it perfect? Nothing ever is. Do we go curb to curb? No, and thank God, because we're destroying curbs. That's it. I want to ask something else too, which somebody else may follow up. Where does the township stand on sanctuary protection for illegal aliens? Are we bound by county, by the state, or do we have our own philosophy about how we'll handle this? Because I think you have a right legally to say, we've got somebody in our custody, ICE is looking for them, or they're here illegally. Do you have to give them sanctuary?
Mr. Maris,
Can
you have 1 minute
notify
left
the
at this
societies?
point.
Pardon
You have
that?
1 minute left at this point.
Okay, that was it. Nothing more.
Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody want to answer?
Okay, Mr. Niski, can you respond to him, please?
Sure. I mean, we have an Attorney General directive on Integral Trust, and I'd be more than happy to share that with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments this evening from the public?
John Bertari, Woodbridge again. I expected to see tonight a lot of people complain about the snow. I don't think we need to complain about the people of Woodbridge Sanitation Department, Police Department, Fire Department. I think they did a great job in the circumstances, but I do have one complaint about the people that does the county or the state on Route 35. For years that I lived there, when they plow the snow, they do 40, 50 miles an hour, push the snow off the road. I could see first plow, second plow, but when it goes next to the curb, it goes so fast. If you look at some of the buildings that are close to the 35, they are up to the top of the windows. They start slush, so everything what's in that could be anything, metal, could be bricks, could be anything. So please, I did see sometimes they would have either police department or the foreman or somebody that runs the company, they would make sure they don't have to go too fast. But the last car that goes to the curb close, they just speeding, they're pushing the snow 15, 20 feet off the road into the buildings. So please check on them next time it happens, because everybody knows Tim Casey. I'm in business a long time. Years ago, back when his boys were Timmy and Brian was small, his wife walked to my shop, and the guy came to plow, snow plow. It snowed so fast, putting the looking into the board, but 10 feet into my building, inside the shop. So what I'm saying is, it's not you people, township, it's those private guys that do the county, whoever they are. Please check on them next time. It's not necessary to do this. There's a lot of damage. I did to plow my sidewalks. I mean, it's cleaned 3 times this time, because every time you go, they come by, they do it. If you look at the township guys, they put the right way of the road. Those guys come back and they kick the right back into the side streets. So I'm sure there's some kind of regulations, how fast can they go in case of a heavy snow hitting, please, so take it.
Council
you.
President, Route 35 is the responsibility of DOT. We don't plow Route 35.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
Council President? Well, I have a second here. I actually did notice some snow issues on 35 today. I made a note here to reach out to DOT tomorrow.
Thank you very much,
no problem.
Councilman Harris.
Mr. Lund.
Paul Lund, Hope Lund section of town. I have some follow-up questions concerning sanctuary state, sanctuary county that we live in, and what the Attorney General's directive allows and disallows as far as cooperation. I know there is a supremacy clause that gives the federal officers the right to execute their warrants for arrest. And I'd like to know plainly if Woodbridge police are allowed, and the county is another question that I'll pose at a county level, but are Woodbridge police allowed to cooperate with ICE? And secondly, I'd like to know, as a woman council person in Old Bridge was bold in standing for law enforcement, standing up for ICE, who are removing criminals and drugs from the streets, are doing the same work that they did under Biden and under Obama. And I want to know if each of the council persons here are willing to say they support law enforcement, not just on the local level, but on the federal level as well.
All right, well, I can tell you from speaking to the council president, we're not going to poll the council because you asked to. So supremacy clause applies. It's part of the Constitution. We follow the law of the federal government, state government.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lynn.
Any other comments from the public this evening? Hearing no other comment, can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll go into the agenda.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mitch. I'll go into my agenda first. My agenda is in order. I just have a few comments to make tonight. Sorry. I have to change my glasses. I apologize. First, I'd like to thank the DPW team for their incredible dedication in removing the snow and keeping our town safe and accessible. The employees in these departments worked tirelessly for multiple hours, and the extreme cold conditions made the cleanup more challenging. DPW will continue to do their best, and we appreciate your understanding. Additionally, I'd like to thank the Woodbridge Police Department for their efforts assisting in making the cleanup a successful along with the DPW team. Thank you for your hard work. The Chamber of Commerce number 2. The after-hours event will be held on February 25th at Paris Baguette, a new business in town. So contact the Chamber of Commerce, come out and learn more about this new bakery that we have in town. Also, mark your calendars for March 30th, which will be the State of the Township for 2026. It'll be at the Delta Hotel, and to register, you need to log on to the Woodbridge Chamber website. The Gallery on Main will be holding their winter artist reception on February the 12th from 7 to 9. This is a great opportunity to come and view the beautiful works of art performed by many local artists. Also, the Environmental Commission, I have food programs on my agenda. Right now, the food pantries are in desperate need of non-perishable items. If you could please help by making donations, we have multiple locations throughout the town. You can call the Health Department at 732-855-0600 for a location near you. That's all I have this evening. Thank you. Councilwoman De Jesus?
Thank you. I just have one quick announcement. Poets Wednesday at the Barron Art Center will meet the second Wednesday of every month, starting Wednesday, February 11th, from 8 to 10. The feature reader is Joel Allegretti, and then the following Wednesdays, you can go to the Barron Art Center or call Deborah LaVeglia at 908-272-3141 for more information. My agenda is in order. I would just like to congratulate Officer Thomas Hendricks in being honored today during the Black History Month celebration. And I just want to say that Thomas represents not only our African American community here in Woodbridge Township, but more importantly, he also represents how most of our young men and women are raised here and they want to serve their community. And that's a lot of our officers in Woodbridge, in the Woodbridge Police Department. So again, congratulations to Thomas and congratulations to the department. That is all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Spiller?
Thank you, Council President McCall. Item number 2, Avenel Arts Village. I'm very excited to announce that Jersey Boys which is located at 147 Avenel Street, starting tomorrow, will now be located inside the Arts Village at 190 Avenel Street, the former coffee bar. Congratulations to Carmine, his family, and staff on the new location. The restaurant still will have all the favorites from across the street, including the same pizza ovens, that's key, and is also doubled in size with seating up to 90 people. Please check out their website for times, which are now expanded with the new location. Item number 10, tickets are still on sale for the Avenel Knights of Columbus Oldies Dance Night this Saturday from 6:30 to 10:30 at the Knights located at 109 Morrissey Avenue. For tickets, please call Joe at 908-472-2862. Buffet dinner and liquid refreshments are included. The rest of my agenda is in order, Council President. Just a few announcements. Director Brew, same sentiment. I want to thank everybody in your department, yourself. I think we were talking 2 weeks ago, right after the council meeting, where we said, you know, we'd rather have a 2-foot dump than what Mother Nature gave us, but outstanding job as always. And again, thank you for today. Your crews are out there, and also thank you to PD cleaning up Avenel Street. You know, we've all gotten phone calls, messages about my road hasn't been this, my road hasn't been that. Avenel Street is a snow emergency route, so there are no cars on that road. DPW got as close to the curb as possible, but, you know, 2-family houses, you know, snow's gotta go somewhere. And just to go to show you that even a snow emergency route with no vehicles on the road, you're gonna get snow, but they did an outstanding job today, so thank you very much. God bless America. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome. Thank you. Councilman Anderson?
Thank you, Council President. Earlier today, I was at Middlesex College. I want to congratulate them on the opening of their gymnasium. It's about a 2-year project. It seats 1,300 people. It's part of the CIO project, where there will be a new magnet school, student center, 13 athletic fields, and a huge baseball entertainment complex that'll be the home site for Rutgers University Scarlet Knights baseball team. The Independent Club of Colonia will be having their Black History Month annual celebration. It is free, February 22nd from 3 to 5 at the Acacia Center. This is the 100th year of celebration of Black history. It started out as Black History Week or Negro History Week under Carter G. Woodson, and then it moved on to, in 1976, moved up to Black History Month, and now in 2026, we're still celebrating. That'll be at 95 Port Reading Avenue on Sunday from 3 to 5, February 22nd. I would like to thank the mayor, council, and the administration for their support of the Woodbridge Broncos. This past year, they had their banquet on Sunday. We had over 540 attendees. Mayor was there to come and congratulate the 2 championship football programs and the 2 national recognized cheer levels. So we want to wish them a lot of luck going forward. I would like to thank Director Brew and the Department of Public Works. You know, the guys were out there early and late, working very hard to keep our streets clean, and did their best. And I want to really, really thank them for that. I also want to acknowledge in Mr. Councilman Spiller's territory, R&Beans Cafe on 216 Avenel Street, February 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th. Those are all Saturdays from 7:30 to 4. For any drink that you purchase there, they will make a $2 donation to the Juneteenth committee. So if you could stop down at 216 Avenel Street on Saturdays or any other days in between, but from 7:30 to 4, R&Beans Cafe will make a nice donation to the Juneteenth committee. And as well, I thought it was a wonderful ceremony beforehand, especially acknowledging Thomas, and many of us all watched Thomas grow up in this community. Thomas Hendricks, our Police Officer of the Year, Woodbridge. I don't consider him a black police officer. I consider him a Woodbridge Township police officer who happens to be black. All right, and that's the best way to describe a young man these days. But I'd like to congratulate Director Niski and the department for their recognition of Thomas. Thank you.
Councilman Anderson, before I was a Kane alum, I was a Middlesex County College alum many years ago. The gym, it's not in the place of the old gym down below. It's up top off of Mill where they're doing the whole.
No. So the gym is in the same place. So they gutted the whole gym. It's the same gymnasium. New floor, new bleachers, everything new on the inside. And it's very, very large because there's actually a screen that divides it, and there's a second gym behind it.
And that ends up tying into the back where you would go up towards the old base where the project is. Oh, fantastic.
That's right. Absolutely. Thank you.
Councilman Bauer?
Thank you, Council President. Item number 16, school number 14 property. You have made your way down Main Street in Forge lately. Demolition started last week on school 14, making room for the future ADA accessible park. Looking forward to this finished product in the near future. Same thing to Department of Public Works, and kudos to George Bruin and all his men and women for taking care of our township streets. What I saw is people don't know how to remove their cars from the street, which causes a lot of problems. This storm was very tough on us because it froze the next morning. So if you left a big pile of snow and left your car out there, they couldn't move anything. So going forward, there is no streets in our township. You can go to the township website, or the best thing is the more cars off the road, the better they can plow. So thank you, George, and tell your staff, great job. That's all I have. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Small?
Thank you, Madam President. Nothing on my agenda tonight, just, excuse me again, Directors Bruin, Niski, thank you for all your hard work all the time, but the last 2 weeks have really been tough, so my gratitude towards both of you and your departments. God bless America. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Councilwoman Meade?
Thank you, Council President. I just have one announcement tonight. It's our annual chili cook-off, which will be on March 1st at Acacia from 12 to 2 o'clock. We're looking for Woodbridge chefs to come out and bring their chili. We have 3 different prizes you can win. All proceeds from this event will go to Nicholas Lombardi of Woodbridge. Nicholas was born with multiple complex heart defects. He's undergone 6 open heart surgeries, and now he's 11 years old, and he's on a list for a heart transplant. So come out, enjoy the day, come help support this Woodbridge family. It's good. We'll help, be able to help them. And thank you, Mr. Brew, for all your work. You did an amazing job. You kept the residents happy. It was a really hard storm. So thank you and everybody that works at Woodbridge Public Works and all our officers and our firemen for all their hard work this storm. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Patel?
Yeah, thank you, Council President. Also, my agenda is in order. I would like to also thank Directors of Public Works and Police Departments for clearing the street and maintaining our neighborhood safe during the storm we had here on January 24th and 25th. And excellent job, in the 4th ward, I would say easily, in the middle of our parish. They were in really great shape. Again, thank you, and happy Valentine's Day. Thank you.
Councilman Harris?
Yes, thank you, Council President. Just 2 items from my agenda. Item number 1 is the piece on school district as the unofficial liaison here. I want to buttress what Councilman Bauer had mentioned about School 14. The demolition has begun. And, sort of a saying these days about promises made, promises kept. Going back to my service on the board, we had promised to the School 14 community and that immediate neighborhood that if anything were to happen to that school, including closing it, it would not become anything other than a park. So I'm pleased that the administration and our council here and the board here, we worked cooperatively together, and a park will be taking its place. Also, tonight we moved quickly. I missed my opportunity to mention resolution number 12 on tonight's agenda. This has to do with a state law that I had the privilege of working on. It benefits all municipalities, but Woodbridge will be the first and certainly the smartest community to take advantage of it, whereby if a municipality working in cooperation with their school district pledges any future pilot revenues towards the construction of school facilities, they do not need a bond referendum. And the purpose of that law was to facilitate communication and the sharing of pilot revenue between municipalities. Woodbridge has long set the standard for that type of behavior, and we codified it to make it a practice for all school districts and municipalities to practice. So I just want to thank the administration for following through on that. Really pleased about that. And as item number 12 points out, that the pilot revenue will be pledged towards the construction of a new School 10 in Hope Lawn. Nextly, and finally, item number 2 on my agenda, I have state property tax relief programs. Just want to give a mention to a couple things coming down the pike this month. Very exciting. The Stay NJ program will finally be issuing its first payouts beginning February 9th. If you applied for and qualified for the Stay NJ program, which you should have received a letter for in late October of this past year, beginning February 9th, you'll receive your first quarterly payment under that program. So that's exciting. Take a look out for that. That'll be in check form. It's not direct deposit or even a credit on your taxes. It is a check. And then nextly, we're already starting the new year with the Pass 1 application. That's the Senior Property Tax Relief Program. Last year was rolled up into one application on the Blue Book that many seniors and disabled residents are familiar with. That new book for tax year 2025 will begin being mailed in the month of February 2026. So be on the lookout for that. If you're newly eligible, you'll also receive your blue booklet for the first time. And one special note here I want to highlight: if last year, if you neglected to apply via the blue book, with the pen and paper, if you applied online, Treasurer will be mailing you a postcard saying, hey, you applied by electronically last year. You're sort of expected to apply once again online. So you'll receive a postcard just reminding you of that and when to go online and apply for, again, the PASS application, which again is the combination of the Anchor program, the Senior Freeze program, and the Stay NJ programs. Thank you, Council President.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Mitch.
Thank you, Madam President. My agenda is in order.
Thank you. Mayor?
Thank you, Council President. Just want to echo the compliments to our Public Works Department after the snow that we haven't seen, frankly, in 10 years, since 2016, since we've had that kind of snowfall. And it was complicated by the fact that after 10-plus inches of snow fell, a couple inches of ice and sleet fell, made the snow removal process very, very difficult. But I thought they did a great job, and we have far more compliments than we had complaints. Also want to thank the Police Department, which is out round the clock, like usual, in very bad conditions for the past several weeks, really, not just the storm, but they're also in the front lines of not necessarily snow removal, but certainly dealing with the emergency, installed cars and water leaks and water main breaks and everything. The Police Department also did a wonderful job. Thank you very much, Council President.
Business Administrator Samaluka?
Thank you, Council President. The mayor couldn't have said it better himself or the council. Our DPW is second to none, as well as our police department. They do a fantastic job. They definitely go out there in difficult circumstances and perform at a high level. So we appreciate everything they do. With that, I have two things on my agenda: tax and sewer overpayments, and I have 100% disabled veteran. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Niski?
Thank you, Council President. I have one item on my agenda, an ordinance proposal to add permit parking on Judy Drive, Dino Drive, and Glen Drive. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Darden?
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Brew?
Thank you, Council President. I have two items for action tonight. The first one is final change order with Vortex Services, and that's for the 2024 cleaning and televising of the sanitary sewer in the RVSA contract number 2024-010. And the second item I have is change order number 3, and that's the final for P&A Construction 2024 million resurfacing road program, contract number 2024-001. And Council President, I would just like to thank the council and the administration for the support we get. The equipment, as I've said in the past, is very expensive, and it's specialized equipment for what we do, and the council administration supports us with purchasing equipment, materials, and the confidence they have in and support for our staff is second to none. It's very important. It goes a long way with our employees. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Legal?
We have nothing this evening.
Thank you.
You got a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.